Hey, what's up? Today we're going to talk about the 5 lead generation mistakes that I find that insurance agents make from, coaching a ton of insurance agents, recruiting a bunch of insurance agents, going through a whole bunch of different lead gen strategies. Let's hop right into it. Number one, the first lead generation mistake that insurance agents make is buying leads without learning how to sell insurance. I can't tell you how much I see this, and I'll tell you why that's a problem. Because if you go straight into buying leads and you don't know what to say, you don't know the type of tonality you need to have, you don't know how to get a client to check out, you don't know how to get a client to commit to the application, you feel uncomfortable around asking for social security number, routing numbers, and account numbers, you're going to lose money. Like, I've spent hours training some of my agents on the comfortability of having an insurance conversation. I mean, think about it. You're talking to someone on the phone, you're asking them for a lot of sensitive information. That's not easy. No matter how much somebody tries to sell you on the fact that it's easy, it's not. It takes a very long time to get comfortable with that. So my recommendation would be to practice, practice, practice. And one of the ways you can do that is on your family and friends. So I agree that in the beginning, talking to your family and friends is a great way to be able to get that momentum going. And you need to make sure you have a sales script built out that you're practicing in the mirror with proper tonality, not like, hey, hello, is this Joe? And that's not going to work, right? Because you sound like a bill collector. You got to make sure that you sound smooth, you sound like a real person before you start buying leads. So don't make that mistake. Which brings me to number 2. Working your warm market for too long, right? So this is a second thing that I see happen all the time, and some IMOs are the reason this occurs is that, like, as an agent, you're working the warm market way too long. Your friends and family, your referral market, and before you know it, you start to dry out, and then you're like, man, I can't get any more business. But here's the reality of it: your warm market is going to get smoked out. It will. Right? You only have but so many people that you know. Now, here's what I will say. I think agents don't work their warm market hard enough before they move on. So again, back to the original point, buying leads without learning how to sell insurance is a mistake. So you should use your warm market to only build a foundation around understanding how to sell insurance, getting comfortable with the conversation, getting a few sales under your belt, and earning some commission and feeling that confidence. And then from there, you got to realize that it's time to move on from working your warm market and start moving into a market where people are actually looking for insurance, because there is a huge marketplace of people that are like looking for term, they're looking for whole life, they're looking for IULs. And as much as people say that it's not, that's pretty strange to me, because there are, advertisements all over the TVs right now selling final expense. So clearly, if companies are dumping millions of dollars into running commercials on final expense, there must be a market on TV of people that are looking for final expense. I currently manage about $25,000 per week in ad spend for IULs, like at minimum. So when I tell you that there's a market of people who are looking for insurance, there is, and you can move outside of your warm market. So don't stay in your warm market for too long. That leads me to number 3, moving to age leads without experience. So what normally happens here is that you're like, okay, cool. You know what? I want to get out of my warm market, but like I don't have enough money to buy like fresh leads that might cost me $40 to $60. And I get it. You like, you know what? Moving to age leads is the right strategy. The problem is that you may underestimate the amount of experience and work that's needed for age leads to actually become successful. In fact, I did a training video on my YouTube page that talks about age leads. It's one of the parts. You should check it out. I broke down exactly what you need to do in order for age leads to be successful for you. It requires a lot of volume. It requires a lot of phone calls. It requires a lot of outreach. It requires a lot of hours and certain softwares that you're going to need in order to make your age leads, system, possible, because these leads are 3 to 12 months, sometimes more than 12 months old. It's going to require a lot of work to get people on the phone, and you're going to get hung up on a lot. You're going to get rejected a lot. You're going to get people telling you, no, don't ever call me again a lot. And you're going to need tough skin. So if you're not ready for that, don't make the mistake of moving to age leads without experience. I would encourage you to spend the extra money to go fresh leads first, even though it's going to cost you a little bit, get less and work fresh. And then from that point, if you feel confident and you're like, I'm going to cut down on my cost a bit, but I feel confident in my ability to work 12 hours a day and really grind it out, then move over to aged leads. And I think that's the right way. But without experience, you might really get yourself in trouble and you might lose confidence there because you're going to get hung up on a lot. And then number 4, when it comes to lead gen mistakes, is jumping from lead vendor to lead vendor too quickly. Like, this is something that happens across industry too much. It's like you're looking for the secret sauce of a lead vendor, and I get it. You know, all lead vendors are not graded the same. Some lead vendors are making promises and the quality is actually not as good as it is, or it's a ton of things. So you're like jumping from lead vendor to lead vendor. The problem with that is you're never going to stick around with one long enough to be able to fully understand the flow, understand the avatar. And this is the part that's most important to me. You need to be able to understand the avatar of each lead vendor. If you have 10 different lead vendors, they may have 10 different types of avatars, different buyers, right? And you have to learn how to sell to each avatar, right? Like, don't think that you're going to jump to a new lead vendor and you're going to sell the same way that you did with the other lead vendor. It just doesn't work that way. This could be a totally different type of customer, which is why when you jump from lead vendor to lead vendor, you're seeing up and down results, and you never have a stable, month. Like you don't have a stable 6 months where you earn $15,000, $20,000 per month, 6 months straight, because you keep changing a very big variable: lead quality, avatar. So when you learn how to sell, like, for example, selling to an avatar of people who earn, let's say, $30,000 to $50,000 per year is much different than an avatar of people who earn $50,000 to $90,000 a year, and that's much different from the avatar of people who earn $90,000 to $200,000 a year, and it's much different than the avatar of people who are veterans, people who are elder, people who, like, you can't just do those things, right? Because it requires a certain aura. Like, I've been selling IULs for years. I built my entire agency around selling IULs. I built all of my sales scripts around IULs. I built my entire CRM system around IULs, my data and analytics around IULs. I built all of my ads around IULs. Like, I know IULs. I know how to sell them. I know how to talk to people about them. I know how to break it down to people in 45 minutes. I know how to make it an easy concept to understand via an ad. I've done it long enough. And I want you to do the same thing. Do something inside of a market long enough to get actually good at it. Stop jumping from thing to thing and thinking that that's going to be be the solution for you. And instead, you're going to end up going backwards. Okay? And that brings me to my final point, number 5, is that never bringing your lead gen in-house and hiring an insurance marketing partner. This is like the newest thing here, that the secret that you're not hearing from, like, the successful agents that are out there. Let me just give you a little bit of let me bring you in on the secret. The agency owners who are doing $300,000 plus in annualized premium every month, like, I would even not even say 300,000. Like, if you see agents who are on your list, like just independent agents that are constantly crushing 50, 60,000 a month, and then agency owners that are doing 200, 300 plus $1,000 per month, and they're doing it every month, and you're like, what are they doing different than me? Well, you're not in on the inner circle. The inner circle is that these particular agency owners have brought all of their lead gen in-house, and they're running Facebook ads, which is the new way. They hired an insurance marketing partner to build out their entire Facebook ad account so they don't have to buy from lead vendors ever again. How do I know this? You're like, Don, how do you know that? Well, for one, I've been my own insurance marketing partner for like the last 5 years. I've only ever ran Facebook ads to generate IUL leads, and in the last 24 months, my organization has generated close to 200,000 IUL leads in the last 2 years. So, like, I specialize in that in that area, and I take up a lot of market when it comes to IUL leads. So I know. I set this up, and then I set up one of my buddies who had an agency with the same system on Facebook ads. I built the whole thing out for him, created all the content and everything. His agency went from 100,000 a month to 300,000-400,000 a month. Then he referred me to another guy who's a buddy of mine. We did the same thing, and then another person, and now, with that, we manage a lot of clients agents and agency owners who are bringing their lead gen in-house, and they're running Facebook ads to do this, and they're firing the lead vendors, and they're building their own Facebook ad accounts with my assistance to be able to build that for them. So when you get to a certain place where you've graduated from lead vendors and you're like, you know what, I don't want them to have this much control over my business. The quality keeps diluting. I got to keep moving and etc. It's that time where you got to just bring it in house. Hire an insurance marketing partner to build that in-house lead process for you. It's going to allow you to have consistency, build a great business. You don't got to wake up and keep thinking what's going to happen today or tomorrow. The lead vendor going out of business, quality's going down. Am I getting any leads today? And you can go ahead and start growing a lot of your agents too, because when you have your lead gen business in-house, that's a tool for you to be able to recruit more agents, because you're like, hey, I got my own lead gen situation going on in-house. As soon as I get you recruited, I can start getting leads in your hand tomorrow. You know how powerful that is when it comes to recruiting more agents? In fact, I've recruited over 300 agents doing that. Many of them were already licensed, and their uplines didn't provide that type of value, and I could, because I had my own insurance marketing partner with Facebook ads built into my agency. So that's number 5. Don't rely on lead vendors for life. Sooner or later, you should bring it in-house. Right, so those are the 5 lead gen mistakes: buying leads without learning how to sell insurance first. Number 2, working your warm market for too long. Number 3, moving to age leads without experience. Number 4, jumping from lead vendor to lead vendor too quickly. And number 5, never bringing your lead gen in-house and hiring an insurance marketing partner. I pray this was valuable to you. If so, share this with another life insurance agent so they don't make the same mistakes and that we can all become successful. And if you want more free value like this, just go ahead and click the link inside of the bio below to join a free Telegram chat where we have over 1,000 life insurance agents in there that we share value, IUL tips, secrets, everything that you need to be able to continue to grow as an agent. Peace.